Hello, everyone. This is Sam Yackles-Irwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Austin Comedy Film Festival. We are gearing up for our summer 2023 screening, which is going to be on July 30th at the Austin Film Society Cinema. And today we are talking with two of our participating filmmakers. Stevie Cavalier and Catalina Cielo are the writers, directors, and stars of Swashbuckle Kill. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Let's jump right into it. What inspired this very unique movie?
You want to go first?
Sure. It was our first time writing together and creating in this way together, and we wanted to do something that was silly and fun. We tend to get given pretty heavy material, so we wanted to just go out and have a blast and an adventure, and do something that felt shootable as well. And so we kind of threw around a couple ideas, and Pirate Sisters is where we landed.
Awesome.
And originally when we decided to, when we came up with the idea, we were really just throwing around, we were spitballing ideas for scenes, because we take an acting class together, and in class we do a lot of, scenes that last about 3 to 5 minutes. And so we initially envisioned it being, very small, like just the talking heads kind of thing, maybe, playing in a sandbox basically. And it just kind of became it took the reins and it started going somewhere. And we were like, I guess we're following it.
Awesome. And so through your guys' process, does that stuff get ironed out more on the writing end, or is there some improv happening? What's that like?
There's definitely a lot of improv. Both Stevie and I are improv artists and actors. So anytime we were trying to work out a scene, especially, we would improv, even if it wasn't our characters, we would improv what elements that was a lot of times. But yeah, I think we're very honest and process the world differently with each other. So we write well together, at least in my opinion, because we can kind of see where one of us is going, but maybe we can fill in the blanks for each other really effectively without anyone getting their feelings hurt, which is always great.
And in terms of your question about the whether or not, we did definitely have a very, we polished a script through a couple drafts, probably about 7 or 8 drafts that we sent out to friends to get kind of, notes and coverage and stuff like that. And so we worked it through improv together and talking through the script, and then we would kind of go apart from one another and write, and then we would kind of come back together and combine elements that we really liked or thought really worked. So there was definitely a process of refining the script, and then on set, we still had room to improv, but we usually started with the initial script, the scripted lines, and then we would give ourselves free reign, after we had gotten a couple takes.
Totally. Well, tell me how you guys developed these specific characters as well, because they have distinct personalities. The chemistry is really good. Clearly, you guys are good collaborators. But yeah, how'd you come up with these characters?
Well, I think it started with the initial idea, because when we came up with the idea, we were trying to think of what might be funny, and usually 2 different characters, like one who is very straightforward and rule following, and then pairing that with someone who is the complete opposite of that. And when we landed on wanting to be pirates, then that's where that idea of these 2 sisters popped into our heads. And from the very, very beginning, we knew exactly which character we wanted to play. There wasn't a dispute there.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything to add, Catalina?
Yeah, no, I think that's very accurate. I think we just continued then to egg on the characters. When we would discover something new about one character, it always kind of informed what was missing still within the other character, which was really nice. It was a cool process that I had never really thought about, seeing what was missing within yourself through the lens of somebody else, within character work, which was cool. Yeah. But yeah, I think that the characters came very naturally, and they were very full chest out, so they were really fun to play.
And I think the other thing too is, in real life, we're both sisters, not to each other, but we both, our sister relationships in life are very much an important part of our lives. So there was a lot to pull from in terms of oh yeah, this is very realistic. You know, like this is accurate to what it's like to have a sister.
Oh,
And
totally.
yeah.
Cool. Well, one thing I was really taken with is the quality of the costuming. I mean, oftentimes if people are doing comedy, they think it could just be funny to have something, Halloween Party City style costume. But you guys really did a great job on selecting, hardy cloths and good looking costumes. What was that process like?
Thank you.
We're so proud of that. Okay, thank you.
That was quite the journey.
Really?
You want to start, Catalina?
Yeah, I think like the month also leading into shooting, like one of us would be out of town and then we would switch. So it's a lot of like we would have like a day and a half of crossover to try and like figure out what pieces were missing. So it was a lot of like frantic searching at certain points.
Totally.
But like the black like cloak that Kiji's character wears was actually a dress that Stevie's mom had that we like took the sleeves off of, and there's a lot of like thrifting and like changing elements of things that we maybe already owned. But thank you. We appreciate that. We had a lot of fun with the costumes and trying to figure out what would inform each of the characters.
And something that we also really cared a lot about was the colors, and what that would, how they would blend together and be interesting, especially against a land, because it is a comedy. Having all browns and blacks would have been very dull, but having that green pop that I was wearing, which was just in my closet, thankfully. In fact, a lot of the clothes we did have on hand, we had to buy the Bastile's character's shirt. And she dyed the purple ascot that he wears. It was just like a piece of white cloth. But we were conscious about, we want the colors to be very poppy, and her orange pants were the pop of color that Kiji wears. So
totally. Well, I love hearing about that stuff, and I feel like it is important, like you said, to when it's something that's comedic and it has to have a certain energy that's translated in the colors and the costuming as well. So, and I think, did you guys say that this is your first filmed project together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Well, so I want to ask, what did you guys learn from this? Did you take away any new insights in the craft of, directing, acting, writing, collaboration, anything like that?
Definitely. In my case, I feel I had directed some stuff before, but I haven't directed a film where I also starred in it. And so having the co-director situation was so good, because and we were so both equally invested that it really worked well, and I felt secure in doing that. And I knew that the person across from me was going to tell me what she thought, and not just like leave me hanging, because that's the hardest thing when you're an actor and the director is the only person who's your audience and you don't have that feedback. It's incredibly difficult. And I think the other thing too that I learned was just making something and not being like, there were plenty of times where I was really, really afraid that, oh, this is just going to all be crazy. I mean, we were going down to Grand Isle Beach to film, and we had 3 days to do it, and it was like a 15-page script. So I think just the idea of do something even if it's wrong, just get the experience and see where it leads you.
Totally.
Really powerful to me.
Yeah, I think having a partner to just kind of jump off the cliff with is always very beneficial. It was my first time ever directing, so I'm incredibly thankful that I had someone like Stevie as, like not just my partner, but a mentor in a lot of situations and ways.
Totally.
So pretty much all of it was a learning experience. I got to learn a ton from start to finish, and I think one of the beautiful things of having a really good teammate is them like helping you continue to trust your gut whenever you're like, oh, I see this away, and like having someone be kind of your ally within that, because you trust what they're gonna say, and that if like your gut's not right in that moment, they'll be like, yeah, maybe not. I think that's really beneficial as an artist to have those people around you. So I think I just got really lucky that Stevie was my first person to do it with.
Totally. Well, I love that sentiment. I love, trusting your collaborator and kind of giving into to feedback and just the nature of collaboration, which is, kind of the magic of cinema. So what is next for you both? Are we working on any new short films together?
Yeah, we're doing the 48-hour film festival at the beginning of August in New Orleans, so that'll be together. Awesome. But we're actually using Swashbuckle Kill as a proof of concept and hoping to develop it for a limited series. So we're in the process of writing the episodics right now.
Very cool. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you guys would like to add about Swashbuckle Kill?
Come have a good time. Like, if you have siblings, you will relate to the dynamic. If you don't, like, you'll still have a good time. It's fun. It's silly. If you drink, have a sip of rum. Like,
it's I honestly, like, I think, you know, my hope for the film is that people who watch it just actually have a good time watching it.
Yeah.
Because
we had a good time making it. So.
Totally. Well, it's a great film. It's very fun, and there is a lot of care put into, you know, the details like the costuming and stuff, and that totally pays off. And I think people are really going to love this one at the Austin Comedy Film Festival on July 30th. Thank you both very much for talking with me today.
Thank
you so much for again.
And I hope to see episode 2 sometime soon.
Woo.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.